guys, Laurie Greenway here with Pilates Thread. So last week Joe posted a video, a lovely video by the way, of her in some horribly torturous extension. So I get the grand pleasure of kind of recreating that movement on the reformer. So here I am going to try this. So extension is definitely so challenging for me. I've struggled with it for years. My years in fitness have really locked up my back, and then society as we know it with all the small devices and stuff has really brought me into a tightness in my back. So my movement is like a centimeter, it feels like. I joked with Joe that my video would be about 4 seconds long because that would demonstrate how long my range of motion was. That's about as long as it would take me to get there. So I'm going to try my best this morning. So extension is very mindful. It is frustrating. It sometimes feels if it's painful. You feel like you're stuck. But the bottom line is that it is absolutely vital for the balance of the spine. If you have injuries in your neck or your lower back especially, sometimes we tend to go into extension and we are not really in extension at all. We're actually in a compression of the lumbar vertebrae, which is where I would want to go naturally because I have such a large lumbar curve. But we have to make sure that you are in the right position in order to get that full extension. Now, when I teach a lot of reformer. And when I teach extension, which is every single time I teach reformer, I make sure that I start with thoracic extension, which is what I'm going to do today because it honestly comes down through my lumbar. It is there at all times. But it's so important to practice and practice and practice extension. So it balances out your spine. It gets the nervous system going. It really elongates the spine. It helps with posture. It also helps to pull and open us up. I feel like it helps me with my breathing. It keeps those vertebrae exactly where they're supposed to be. And I'm all about keeping bones where they're supposed to be, don't you think? So remember, if you got any kind of an injury or in your neck or in your lower back, you want to make sure that your extension work is spot on, right? No dumping into the lower back or over extending through the head or neck. Here goes nothing. Here I go. Okay, so I'm going to be on a red and a yellow spring, and my foot bar is going to be up at its top position because for me personally, it helps me to engage through my lats. Like I said, my range of motion is not going to be very big, but it gives me that point of reference with the foot bar. All right, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to lay myself down to where my ribs are right pretty much at the edge of the box. Okay, I'm going to set my shoulder blades down. Now I'm going to just stay here for a second, and I'm going to get myself where I need to be. Again, I'm on a red and a yellow spring. Now I'm going to really start to focus on my legs first, and I'm going to reach them out long. Now, a lot of times I will coach my people to pull their legs together, but that might not be something that they can do. A prop would be a really good place for this if they can't do that, right? So my legs are completely together, and I am lengthening. So I'm going to lift one leg up and then the other leg up, and it is shocking what happens in my hip joints. You really want to create that space there. So the shoulder blades are down. My hands are going to be lightly on the foot bar initially, but my thumbs are going to be on the same side. So if you take the thumbs on the other side, it instantly changes to shoulder girdle. All right, so my legs are connected, right? I'm really pulling in through my inner thighs. My arms are nice and wide, and my shoulder blades are down. Now, not over down to where you're clenched through the scapula. You want to have mobility through that scapula. All right, so shoulder blades down. Here we go. Now, the crown of the head is reaching that way, so my eye gaze is straight down. Not too far down, and certainly not up, all right? So a lot of times we'll tend to extend, think we're in extension here, and all we're doing is compressing that cervical vertebrae. Now, let's talk about this meaty section here. You want to pull the belly button up towards the spine as if it's floating. Hip bones stay down, right? So you've already got that length through the hip bones, but you want to keep those hip bones facing straight down, and that's going to put you into that nice neutral spine, and your lumbar is going to stay long. All right, here we go. So I'm going to press myself out, and I'm going to hold myself here again for another second. Notice that everything is still in one long line. I haven't lifted, I haven't done anything yet. So I'm just going to kind of pull the shoulder blades down a little bit more. I'm going to imagine, I'm inhaling, I'm pushing my rib cage down into the box, and I'm lifting my chest. That is about, as far as I can go. Come on down. So I'm going to inhale to prepare. Exhale to reconnect. Inhale to move. Here I come now. I need to move slowly, slowly, slowly. And when I get to the top of my range, I really like to reconnect my rib cage down. And you would not believe how much activity I have through my lumbar, even though I'm in thoracic extension. And back out. Let's go one more time. Shoulder blades down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to connect. It really helps me to get that full breath. And then inhale as I move. Woo! At the top. And then exhale as I come back down. Sweet. Now, anytime I am doing extension work, I always like to add little nuggets. Sometimes I will add a little shoulder press. But remember, find your own range of motion. If you can't pull the legs together, place a little small squishy ball, as Joe calls it, in between the ankles. That will really help, and it gets that elongation. You want to think about your body being one long line connected. What does that feel like? It feels like your belly button is floating, like I said, but it's not actually floating because that would arch you up. I think Joe demonstrated that in her video. It's a little harder on the box when your arms are a little bit higher. But you want to make sure that you're on and connected. It also is shocking, like I said earlier, how much I feel in my lower back. Those muscles around the lower back, that lumbar spine, are on like crazy. It's hard, but it's worth the journey, people. Thanks so much. Pilates Thread, www.pilatesthread.com. Follow us on YouTube. See ya.